What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. If you guys are new to the channel, do me a favor and hit that sub button, hit that notification bell, make sure you're not missing any of the awesome content we have coming out. Now, with this video, we are jumping back into the Milestone universe, and we are picking up with Static Season 1, Issue number 4. Now, if you haven't been keeping up with this line, go ahead, check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It will get you completely caught up on everything happening in the Milestone universe. Now, we've seen quite a bit transpire over the last couple of issues, and this is really a reintroduction to who Static Shock is. And honestly, we have seen all of the lines really being revised, and hopefully we're going to get some more later on. But right now, we have Icon and Rocket, we have Hardware, and then we have Static Shock. And the three comics, they're definitely going to end up crossing over at some point. We've already seen a little bit with the Curtis Metcalf and Virgil Hawkins, which is Static Shock and Hardware. Now, for longtime fans of the Milestone universe, you may be seeing some retcons happen here and there throughout the storyline. It's kind of just refreshing it for a new generation to get their eyes on it. But with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so as we pick up with issue number 4, we have Special Agent Jones along with Hot Streak and some other individuals, and they have come looking for Virgil, knowing that he has some kind of superhuman powers, being part of the Big Bang, which that's what they're calling the event that happened, where a bunch of children and teenagers were hit with gas canisters. What was supposed to be a very peaceful protest, it turned sideways, and because of that, tons of individuals have wound up with superpowers, and Special Agent Jones has been going around doing his best to round them all up. But he is at the home of Virgil Hawkins. He is at the home of Static Shock. And right now, he is asking the Hawkins if he can have a moment with their son to do this test to find out if he has any kind of special abilities or if there's anything wrong with him. And if there is, they are saying that they can give him some kind of treatment to help him out. Now, obviously, the parents, they are extremely hesitant right now. They don't really know who this guy is, but he's claiming to be part of the ATF, which doesn't make any logical sense why he would be here of all organizations. Not only that, a crowd starts to build up outside. The neighborhood starts to recognize what is going on here. More than anything, they are recognizing that Hot Streak is there. And Hot Streak, the same individual that lit their house on fire just a couple days prior. And so now the public is outcrying. They're trying to figure out why this guy of all people would be here to question them. But Static's parents are not buying this, not for 1 second. They recognize a lie when they see one, and they tell him that their son is perfectly fine, he doesn't need an examination, and unless they have some kind of warrant and another organization, they tell him that they need to get out of here and they need to leave now. Now, Hot Streak, he wants to do something about this, but Special Agent Jones, he puts him in place really quickly and says to call us if you go ahead and change your mind. And so the Hawkins family, they sit down after this encounter and they have a discussion about what's going on right now, what's going on in their world, the changes that have been happening to young Virgil. They just don't know what to make of any of this, but they know the situation is very dangerous. Now, right now, Virgil believes that he should be out there helping people. Now that he is officially a superhero, he can create electricity coming out of nowhere. Now, he's not sure how he creates his electricity. He's thinking maybe that he conducts channels and manipulates massive amounts of energy through his body, or possibly he's converting his own energy into electricity. Now, he knows he'll have to run some experiments on this, but the point of the matter is, he is a superhero, and because of that, he believes he should be out there doing good, helping people. His parents obviously have a very different point of view, recognizing how powerful the government is, recognizing how severe this situation could get. They firmly believe that he needs to just relax. He needs to stay inside, he needs to not go to school, he needs to stay away from everything and everyone, at least for the time being. Because no matter how powerful he is, he can't electrocute his way out of every single problem. And they believe that he should probably go stay with his auntie at least until this all blows over, until they can say that it's safe for him to actually be in this town. Now, Virgil's problem with this is they are grabbing Big Bang babies all over the place. They are scooping them up. Darius, the one who's been going to school, his friend who's really good at computers and essentially being his headquarters home base, Darius is letting him know that this is happening. These guys are coming to the school with Hot Streak, and they are taking children from the classroom, and they haven't been seen since. And so the family, they argue back and forth. The morality, the semantics of the situation, they go back and forth on all of this, and they decide they're going to take a break. They'll come back to this whole situation with some fresh ears, some fresh eyes. Everyone just go in their opposite directions. Virgil goes ahead and he goes up to his room. And as he sits up here, he thinks to himself that he has to do something. No matter how much his parents would disagree with it, no matter how much they worry about him, there are families out there that are having their children taken, and there is absolutely nothing he can do about it. That is, as long as he stays in this house. But he did just get all of that gear from Curtis Metcalf, aka Hardware, picking up this high-tech stuff from one of his drop sites. He was able to get all of this, and so he starts manipulating with everything inside of here. And as he digs into this bag, he comes across this sand that he can manipulate with his powers. Using electricity, he can change the form of this sand. He can make this stuff solid. He can turn it into armor. He can even lift very heavy objects with this stuff. Not only that, he can fly with it. And so he is learning just how significant this mineral is really going to be for him. And so with him playing with this stuff a little bit more, figuring out that it really responds to his will, almost as if it's alive. But putting this stuff away, he recognizes that it's going to come very helpful for whatever's happening next. Because he can't sit here, he can't stand idly by as people are getting hurt, as people are being taken away. And so he makes a phone call to Darius as he suits up. Darius saying that he's already been keeping locations on people that have been going away, have been disappearing. He's been keeping an eye on all of this stuff going on. And what more is Daisy came to him a couple days ago, letting us know that she has superpowers as well. Special Agent Jones ended up coming for her. They took everything except for her watch, not realizing it was a smartwatch with a GPS location on it. So Darius has the location of where they are taking the Big Bang children. And that is exactly where Static is going to go. But before he does, his big sister walks into the room. She sees him completely suited up, and she knows exactly what he's about to do. He is not fooling anybody by lying to her. But she came in here with a fire retardant or a fireproof jacket. After everything that happened with Hot Streak last time, she saw how badly it did hurt him. And so this is a way for him to really be able to block that, to be able to counter Hot Streak's power. But what's more is she really lets us know that they had taken an individual to the hospital. They had to sedate her so much because she had light coming out of her hands, a blinding light that wasn't necessarily harmful, but she had no control over it. With her heartbeat going up, with her heart racing, her powers, they started to manifest in very odd ways. And so they sedated her to the best of their ability, and they got pulled over in their ambulance by these, Men in Black FBI guys. And they took that girl. They didn't say anything. They didn't do anything. They literally just took her and they were gone. And so even his sister is recognizing that there are people out there that are getting kidnapped specifically because of what the government did to them. And she also lets him know that she is recognizing how much food that he has been going through, how much he is having to consume to be able to operate his powers. And so she put 24 glucose tablets into his jacket pocket, saying that anytime he feels weak, he needs to ensure that he takes some of this so he can replenish some of his energy. And that's what takes us to the abandoned steel factory on the outskirts of Dakota City. And sitting out here, we have Darius meeting up with Static. And Static lets him know that what we're about to get into is extremely dangerous stuff. But Darius, he wants to be a part of it because at the end of the day, what these guys are doing It's pure evil, and he will do anything he can to help the individuals, to help Daisy, to help all of these people that have been kidnapped. Moreover, he invited some friends with them. Deciding not to use their real names, they are going by Red Eagle and Yellow Gear. But Static lets them all know that you don't have to be here, because what we're about to do is extremely dangerous. And you guys are my adventure group. You guys are there when I need you. You guys are gonna be here when I start saving people, and there's kids running everywhere. You need to direct them where to go. You need to ensure their protection. But you guys can't be going in here with me, guns blazing, because if something happened to you guys, I couldn't forgive myself if that happened. But they let Static know that there is no way in hell they are going to leave his side. They are going to be working side by side with him, because if they work together, they have a much better chance of being able to come out of this alive. And so Static, using his powers, he makes him and his friends fly. They go in for the fuse box. They go to take out the electricity. With the fuse box being down in the basement, there are power lines nearby that they can take out. And so with Static using his powers, he fries these lines, and the entire block goes dark. And this is where the fight begins, with individuals coming out with red eyes, guns blazing. They're trying their best to take out Static. But Static, using his abilities, he lifts these guys up, he makes quick work of them, throwing them into the trash, only to get hit by a blast of fire from Hot Streak. And so now we are getting Static versus Hot Streak round 2. As Static's friends go inside to try and rescue all of the kids, we see Static and Hot Streak go head to head. And at first, Static, he has the upper hand. Being quicker, being faster, being able to outmaneuver him. Static is getting some good punches on him. He blasts him with a ton of electricity. Believing the fight to be over and done with, we see Hot Streak become overpowered, with Static's powers seeming to be dampening, seeming to be not working to their full capacity. We see Hot Streak walk up to him, and Static takes a full blast of Hot Streak's powers directly to the face. And we see Static fall to the ground, his face steaming, and that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. You know, I've said throughout most of the lines, I have thoroughly enjoyed what they are doing with Static. I really like the revival of this, but also having a little bit of retcon, really tackling some social issues. I know, everybody is on board with tackling social issues when it comes to comic books, but comics have always been a great platform to really tackle some of the biggest issues in our society. And when it comes to the milestone comics, that is exactly what these things are created for. But so far through this line, we have seen a lot of stuff. We've seen Hot Streak really start to come into his own. We've seen Static come into his own. Hopefully we're going to see Hardware making his appearance sometime in the near future. We know Icon and Rocket are out there somewhere, and so it is only a matter of time before these guys all come together and we see one heck of a fighting force. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. If you have not yet, do me a favor, hit that sub button, hit that notification bell, make sure you're not missing any of the awesome content we have coming out, and until the next breakdown.